Welcome to another edition of Bowl Fast Talk Straight on day two of the test match between New Zealand or India and New Zealand from Green Park and Campo. And it was New Zealand all the way. The minute Tim Southey got the ball in his hand this morning, he had the ball swinging, he had the ball talking, and he was relentless in that first session. When you look back, India in a commanding position. Day before, 150 for 4. You're thinking, right, New Zealand are in the game. But, Shreyas Iyer, especially Shreyas Iyer, Ravi Jadeja, managed to get a partnership going and had the close of play, India in the box seats, in the commanding seats. Jadeja started 50 not out. Shreyas Iyer on test match debut, 75 not out. He admitted after the game he didn't get much sleep last night, and he went on to get a magnificent 100. It was a great 100 from the young man. Jadeja was out early doors, didn't add to his overnight score, and if it wasn't for Ravi Ashwin, then I'm not sure India would have got 310. But as it happens, they got 345 all out. I'd be disappointed with that, having been 260 for 4. But young man on debut, Shreyas Iyer, I think was the 14th man to score a test match debut for India, and it was richly deserved. He got a great applause from his teammates, led them off at the end there, and he deserves, and he's got a bright future in the game for India's test match side. When it came to the ball, you're expecting a lot more from the Indian cricket team, in my opinion. I didn't think Umesh Yadav or Ishant Sharma stood up anywhere near as close to what Tim Southey did. Tim Southey got the ball to swing, he got the ball to seam, and he bowled challenging lines and lengths. And I didn't think either of the two Indian seamers did that. I think when you look back at how Tim Southey got his wickets, it wasn't by anything magical or mystery. He bowled in and around a good length, top of the stump length, and he manoeuvred himself across the crease accordingly of where he was trying to bowl in conjunction with the off stump. So if he was trying to hit off stump, he was a lot closer to the stumps. If he was trying to bowl just outside off stump, he moved a little bit wider. And if he was trying to hang the ball out there to drag the batsman across the crease, he bowled from a little wider again. A lot like somebody I played with for a number of years, one of the greatest for seamers of all time, and Jimmy Anderson. The comparison to what Jimmy Anderson would have done on that sort of surface is exactly the same as what Tim Southey did. So he deserved his 5 for 69. He led the New Zealand attack and he bowled beautifully. But like I said, when it comes to India, I don't think Indian seamers were anywhere near at the races. They didn't get the ball to swing. They didn't get a control of the batsman. They didn't try and bowl in a partnership from either end to get the batsman where they wanted them. A lot of muddle thinking. The fielding positions, I thought, were not what they were trying to bowl. And I can't blame Ajinkya Rahane for that as captain. I would blame the bowlers, because at one point, Umesh Yadav was bowling, fourth stump, fifth stump, with 5 men on the leg side, and Will Young just eased them through cover point for 4. And it just looked effortless for Will Young and Tom Latham. Partnership of 129. 345 balls on a pitch where 8 of the wickets were taken by seamers. There was a bit of turn there. And I thought New Zealand, yes, they rolled their luck a little bit. They've got a few DRSs overturned and gone their way. But I didn't think India's bowlers were anywhere near the standard they needed to be to get themselves in a position. But what I will say is I thought the last 15 overs of the India innings, of bowling innings, were a lot better than what they were. I thought there was proper Indian test match bowling intensity. I thought they were flat in the field, and I didn't really see them sort of creating pressure from either end. Too many easy rotation of strike from left and right hander. And we've got a question: can India win from here? Well, I think the answer is still yes. I still think India, as much as I've talk down and doom and gloom about India's performance, I still think batting last on this surface will be a challenge. It seems as though it's very difficult starting to get more difficult to score on. I still think India can win this. I still think they're in the box seats. I still think that they're ahead of the game because of the 345 runs they've got on the board. But you fast forward it till tea time tomorrow, and another 160 runs with not too much damage from a New Zealand point of view will put a lot of pressure on that Indian batting unit, because if they can get to 330, 340 and beyond New Zealand, then there's a lot of players playing in the New Zealand side, in the Indian batting unit for their places. You've got Virat Kohli to come back in the next Test match, and there's no KL Rahul, who played excellent against England. Rohit Sharma will come back in, and Rishabh Pant will come back in. So there's a lot of players playing for their place and their futures. There's probably two experienced players playing for their career in the second innings of this Test match, because Virat Kohli is going to come in and bat at number 3 or number 4. So one of the experienced older guard might miss out after the fantastic 100 from Shreyas Iyer. So to answer your question, I still think India are in the box seats, but they're going to have to bowl a lot better. They're going to have to field better, and their intensity has got to be a hell of a lot better than what we've just seen throughout the last 6.5 hours of play in Kanpur. So tomorrow morning, India will come out. They'll dust themselves off, lick the wounds, and go again. And it's up to New Zealand to manage. Can they manage to get off to a good start? If New Zealand are still none down or one down at drinks tomorrow, then they'll feel as though they've got a good chance of getting a hold of this game and then starting to control it. Kane Williamson to come. That's the big wicket for India. India's seamers can't bowl any worse than they did today. And the spinners will probably have to have a little bit more intensity than they did in the sort of second half of today's play. So we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. We'll see you then.